So there are some of the important facts about this Magadha Empire. Okay, so the important fact is that firstly, we are for the first time seeing the independent kingdoms during the 6th century BC. Whether it is Avanti, whether it is Kosala, whether it is Magadha, okay, each of these Mahajanapadas were independent from each other. That is, they had their own economy, they had their own polity, they had their own kind of society and the culture. Okay, they had their own festivals and everything. Okay, after that, this time frame, okay, we'll see two types of polities. The first is monarchical polity, and the second one is the republic polity. Okay, now the republic is the village Sangha or the Grama Sangha, which would be running on the principle of the Grama Sangha, meaning n number of villages and the cities coming together and running their own course. Okay, so these are the republic states, and the monarchical states are the states where the kings would be selected based upon their monarchy. Okay, so two types of polity you will be seeing, that is republic and the monarchical polity. Okay, after that we'll also see that the political and the administrative centers are located at the Hastinapur, Rajgriha, Kaushambi, Champa and Achitra. Okay, after that we have Hathi Gumfa inscription, okay, where we find that the Mahapadmananda, okay, the Shudra employee of the Shishunaga, okay, who would be having the victory over the Kalinga region. Now, where is the Kalinga region? It is present in the present Orissa and some part of the Bengal. Okay, so this is the Kalinga victory of the Mahapadmananda. Okay, now after that the capital of the Rajgriha was turned towards the Pataliputra during this period. Okay, now the Rajgriha is also situated in the Bihar only. Okay, at the initial phase of Haranyaka dynasty, we'll see that the capital is Rajgriha, but afterwards, especially during the Udayan, we'll see that the capital is turned towards the Pataliputra, and the Pataliputra will grow stronger and stronger as and when we'll see the Shishunaga and Nanda dynasty. Why? Because Avanti was sideline due to the low progress. Okay, now after this the 16 Mahajanapadas, okay, are also being derived in the literature known as Angutur Nikaya of the Buddhist text and the Bhagavati Sutra of the Jainist text. So all of the evidences we get it from the Jainism and the Buddhism. Why? Because this is the contemporary period of the Mahajanapada. Okay, now after that we also have different literary sources. Now see, why am I saying to concentrate upon the sources? Because these are the sources from where you will get each and every detail. Okay, and secondly, this kind of questions are only being asked by the UPSC examination. If you see the question papers from right from 2019 up till the 2025, you will see that the ancient Indian questions are being asked upon such Sanskrit words or the historical concepts or the terminologies. Okay, now the Mahavamsa. Okay, now the Mahavamsa is the text. Okay, it is a text written in the Pali language. Now during this, why I have noted this point? Because during that time it was Pali language and the Prakrit language which would be evident in the education system as well as the social communication. Okay, so the Mahavamsa is the text which discusses about the n number of stories in the Pali. Now the Pali was majorly followed in the Sri Lanka. Okay, it was followed in the Sri Lanka, and the Prakrit was in the Indian subcontinent. Okay, now this Mahavamsa, okay, it is written by firstly the Sanghamitra and Mahindra. Okay, now they were after the Ashoka, okay, the sons of Ashoka. Okay, now after that the Greek historians, okay, the Greek historians like Alexander, okay, writes about or talks about how is the northwestern Indian situation, and he also talks about the elephant, how he performs in the wars, and how the elephant stands as a stronger entity in the wars. from the Indian side. Now, at the Pataliputra excavations, we find that the science and technology was much more developed in nature. Why? Because we find many coins and the inscriptions where we also see that who won the wars. Okay, especially in the inscription, the victory are always been noted, that which is the king who won the war. Okay, now it was the ritual after winning the war. The kings used to write their victory on the inscriptions, on the stones and everything. Especially if you see the Ashokan edicts. Okay, in this minor or the major edicts, you will see that there are n number of victories written. Especially if we take an example of the Kalinga war. Okay, now during this Kalinga war, Ashoka was called as a Chanda Ashoka. Why? Because during this war, he fought very fiercely. Okay, and that is why he was known as a Chanda Ashoka. So we found this kind of inscription in the ancient history. Okay, now the Shila Lake. Okay, now the Shila Lake is one of the example of the Ashokan edicts and the inscription where we see the political situation and the science and technological situation. After that, it is James Prinsep who in 1921, okay, who 1921 says that the Prakrit, Brahmi and Pali was carried out during this time. Okay, after this, the Devam Priya or the Piyadasi was also the word given to the Ashoka. Okay, so this is also which we get from the sources. Okay, so please try to remember this kind of words and the concepts which we derive it from the inscription or the ancient sources. Okay. Now see, this is the evidence of the Junagadh inscription which is situated in the Gujarat. Now if you see the wall of this inscription, okay, see there are some of the letters being drawn. Okay, now these letters are particularly in the Pali language. Okay, so यहाँ पे here the Ashoka, okay, is also noted as the Rudradaman. Okay, Pushyagupta, okay, who was the provincial governor or the empire in the Chandragupta Ashoka period, or Chandragupta Mauryan period, not Ashoka, Chandragupta Mauryan period. Okay, so Pushyagupta, the provincial governor. Okay, who was the Pushyagupta was the provincial governor. So based on this, we understand what was the political structure. What was the political structure? That different governors were appointed for the different regions. Like if you see that the region of the Indore or the present day Madhya Pradesh, okay, Ashoka was appointed as the governor for that particular region. Okay, now it was only the Ashoka who again defeated his all the brothers and then sat on the throne. Okay, now he was having the same legacy, similar kind of legacy as that of Ajatashatru. Okay, so you will find that we come to know about this history which was inscripted on this stone. Okay, now there are also the plays or the art and facts. One of them is Mudrarakshasa play. Now these are the dramatic plays which tells something about the stories which had happened during the ancient India. Okay, now the Mudrarakshasa play by Vishakadatta, okay, talks about the Gupta period. Okay, that is of the 4th century. Okay, and the Chandragupta's accession, okay, how he controls over the whole Magadha Empire after the Nanda dynasty. Okay, so all are the sources. Let's see in the next lecture each of this empire, how does each of this king has its own legacy, has its own features and characteristics and impacts on the polity and the economy of the Indian subcontinent. Okay, so I hope you got the clear-cut idea why Magad stood as a very stronger kingdom of that period or from other Mahajanapadas. Okay, thank you.